Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in today's video. Going to have a look at the weather next week to 10 days. In today's video, we'll also have a look at CFS V2 for the next month as well. Now, we've got some uncertainty coming up in relation to next week's weather. It's not out of the realm of impossibility that we might get our first heat wave of the summer next week. But as ever with British weather, there's a lot of uncertainty about this, and I'm going to talk you through everything that's going on right now. So we're going to start off with the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. These are the upper air temperatures. The red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average. We're going to be going warmer than average over the coming few days. So, I mean, we're a bit warmer than average right now. We're going to increase that further in the next couple of days, then drop it down a little bit towards the end of the week, and then lift temperatures back up over the weekend. Lots and lots of dry weather coming through during this period as well. Now, as we go into next week, and that's this period just here, that's where we've got the uncertainty. A lot of scatter is appearing within the GFS ensemble. So there are several ensemble members for next week that are looking really quite cool. However, there are several ensemble members that are going really quite hot, and these two up here, those are very hot outliers, taking the temperature up to 20 Celsius at 850 HPA towards the end of next week. That's proper heat wave type weather. Now, with this uncertainty, we also find the precipitation spikes coming back. We've got more rainfall spikes there as going to the final week of June compared to what we have for the coming week. So it's not only are we turning things uncertain in terms of the temperature, we're also having more uncertainty in terms of precipitation. If the temperatures go up later next week, quite a few of these precipitation spikes could well be thundery, especially these bigger ones just here. They're no doubt indicating the risk of thunderstorms. So a lot of uncertainty is now creeping in for next week. Now, temperature anomalies for the next week, and this mainly takes into account the weather through the rest of this week and into weekend, of course, because this is going from Tuesday, 13th of June to Wednesday, 21st of June. The temperature anomaly is coming out above average, just a little bit above average. Most of Western Europe coming out above average as well, and temperature anomalies in Spain are still going to be around 8 to 10 degrees above average. Very hot conditions across Spain in the week ahead. For the UK, yes, it's warmer than average, but nothing too dramatic in the week ahead. Precipitation anomalies are drier than average. So warm and dry spell coming up. It does look, away from Scotland, where it never truly settles down, away from Scotland, it does look quite a pleasant period, I have to say. So this is how the GFS is looking for Saturday. We've got high pressure building in from the Azores, dominating the weather. Notice westerly winds continue across Scotland. So it never truly settles down for Scotland. More unsettled there. But most parts of the country are under this ridge of high pressure over the weekend, which will keep it mainly dry, fine and warm away from Scotland, where we have more of an Atlantic influence. Temperatures in the south could be up to 25, 26 degrees over this weekend, quite definitely. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a barbecue weekend, I have to say, with both Saturday and Sunday shaping up to be mostly dry, fine and warm. Now, early next week is when the uncertainty is coming in. Look what's happening with the GFS for Monday 19th of June. That high pressure is moving out to our west, and what that does, because the flow is going around the high pressure in that sort of direction, so what that does, take high pressure out to the west, is you'll pull the air down from a northerly direction. So early next week we lose the warmth that we have setting up over the weekend, and it turns cooler and fresher with the wind going into the north. Still a lot of dry weather. I mean, this is Wednesday 21st of June, and we've still got high pressure dominating the weather, so we'll be mostly dry, but quite a bit cooler through the course of next week. Running up to the extended period, so it takes us to Thursday 22nd of June, and then on to Friday 23rd of June, which is day 10. We've got high pressure still dominating, more or less to the north-northeast, dragging the air up from a southerly southeasterly direction, a bit of low pressure down to the south. And the temperatures are lifting up. There's a lot of warm air down across France. So we're putting some of that warmth up into the south. But this low pressure here, this little low, might be threatening thunder. That's a very long way off, though, of course. This is around the Glastonbury period, and by the way, there will be a new update, the third update for the Glastonbury Festival will be released at 7 PM this evening, so it'll be quite a critical one to have a look at, I think, if you're interested in the weather for Glastonbury. Now, the ECWF is a lot hotter compared to the GFS, so this is how the ECM looks for Saturday. Same idea, the ridge is being thrown up from the Azores High, loads of dry weather. The weekend is looking dry, fine, settled and warm away from Scotland, where we do keep a little bit more of an Atlantic influence. Now, early next week, this is the difference. Remember, the GFS for Monday is taking that high pressure that way, and it's pulling the wind down from the north. The ECM is doing something a lot different. It's taking the high pressure centre to the east of the country. And what that does, of course, starts to pull up the air from a southerly southeasterly direction, because around the high pressure again the flow is going in that sort of direction. So early next week, instead of bringing down those cooler northerly winds that we have with the GFS, the ECM is putting up much warmer, if not hot, southerly southeasterly winds. Starts to turn a little bit more unsettled on Tuesday 20th of June. That might be a little bit thundery under that shallow trough just there, because it's within really quite warm air. And then the high pressure just comes back for the second half of next week. We go up to day 10, and look at that, quite a mouth-watering prospect, if you like, convection. This is Friday 23rd of June, day 10. The high pressure is up to the east, up to the north, and it's also out to our east. We've got low pressure to the west and to the south. We're dragging the air up from a very long way south with this. And we're bringing up some really high temperatures from the south. In fact, if I show the upper air temperatures with the ECWF, look at that, it's hot. That's a heat wave going on there at in the second half of next week. So the 20 Celsius isotherm is close to southeastern parts of England, just there. That would see temperatures easily going above 30 degrees, probably to 32 or 33 degrees if that came off into the 90s Fahrenheit. If it is like that, then many places will also be up to around 30 degrees, even into parts of the Midlands, Wales, Northern England. So that's a proper heat wave, but keep in mind, it's very unstable as well with all of these areas of low pressure, which would be threatening thunderstorms. So keep checking back to this. I think it's a developing scenario, and it's not impossible that we might have our first heat wave of the summer next week. Finally, just have a look at charts from the CFS-V2 for the next month. It's going to take us well into July. These are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period taking us from the 13th to the 19th of June. Coming week has above average heights, centre very close to the country. Low pressure is out to our north, and we're dragging up the jet stream to the north as well with those areas of low pressure. So away from Scotland, where it's a little bit more unsettled, many parts of the country dry, fine, and mostly quite warm as well in the week ahead. Bit different for week 2. This is the 20th to 26th of June. The above average heights are going up towards Greenland, below average heights to our east and also to our southwest. We're doing something like this with the flow and the jet stream, so it is more unsettled, but dragging the air up from the south, I would have thought, with that between the ridge and the trough. So it could be very warm there at the end of June, but also quite unsettled, maybe thundery. Week 3, which is the 27th of June through to the 3rd of July, below average heights out to the west, the southwest, above average heights up to the northeast, doing something like that with the flow. So again, this low pressure that's out to the southwest, that could be providing energy for precipitation, but it's a warm flow with the air coming in from the southeast. I think that could again be quite hot and thundery. And then finally, week 4 takes us from the 4th through to the 10th of July, when we get this big area of above average heights building over the top of the UK and Western Europe. The below average heights are being centred off to the north, not quite sure what's happened there. So low pressure is going up to the north, we get up on that. Low pressure going up to the north, high pressure building over the country, and that would give us lows of July, and of course with high pressure in middle of July, that's going to be very warm conditions as well. So the CFS looks really warm for the next month, a warm month of it, but quite unsettled later June into the start of July, and then we're back to high pressure, producing proper summer as we run into the middle of July. Let's not worry too much about that. We've got enough going on with just for next week, because we might be on the verge of our first heat wave of the summer, but there is quite a bit of uncertainty there, as you saw within the GFS ensembles. It isn't certain by any means, and we'll just have to see how things pan out. So obviously I'll be keeping you updated about all next week's developments in the videos in the days ahead. And this evening, don't forget, we've got the third Glastonbury Festival update, so I know there'll be a lot of interest and excitement about that. Come back 7 PM tonight if you're interested in Glasgow. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.